My brothers and sisters, something happened today that I did not expect. Something so small, yet so powerful, that it stopped everything inside me. I was speaking, just like this moment, to a crowd filled with men and women, leaders and soldiers. There was noise in the hall, the cameras flashing, the restless shuffling of papers. Then, it happened. A little voice, a delicate hand rising, too small for such a large gathering. A little girl, maybe 8 years old, stood up. She held a worn little notebook, clutched tight against her chest, as if inside it was a secret that only her heart knew. She looked at me. Her eyes, full of innocence, full of light, no fear, no politics, no hate, only the truth. And then she asked me, not with arrogance, not with pride, but with a softness so sharp it cut through the air. President Traoré, who is Jesus to you? Silence. The question did not just enter my ears. It crushed its way into my soul. And in that moment, the world froze. The hum of microphones disappeared. The restless murmurs of journalists were gone. Even the air itself seemed to stop moving, like it was afraid of what would come next. And I, a man who has stood on battlefields, a man who has faced soldiers and shadows, I was left without words, standing before a little girl with a notebook. Who is Jesus? To me. I repeated her words slowly, as if each syllable weighed 1,000 stones. The hall remained silent. I could feel every eye fixed on me, waiting to see what I would say. But the truth is, I didn't know what to say. For a leader, silence is rare. We are trained to answer every question, to deliver speeches, promises, explanations. Yet before that child's voice, I had none. Her question was not for applause. It was not to test me on politics or strategy. It was a question carved deeper than the surface, aimed straight at the soul. And while I stood there, I realized something. The question she asked me was not only for me. It was for all of us, for every heart listening that day. My brothers and sisters, think about it. We spend our lives chasing titles, money, comfort, survival. We debate, we argue, we demand, but rarely do we stop and ask ourselves the kind of question that little girl asked me, a question that strips away power, strips away crowns, strips away all performance, and looks only at the core of who we truly are. Who is Jesus? To me, the words echoed in my chest, bouncing against the walls of my heart. And as they echoed, the air grew heavy. I knew that this was more than a child's curiosity. This was a mirror held up to my soul. My brothers and sisters, do you understand the weight of that question? Every day people ask me for things, for jobs, for solutions, for promises, for power. But that little girl, she asked for something no gold can buy. No government can legislate. No army can protect. She asked me for the truth. Her hands trembled as she held that notebook. But her voice was steady, pure, honest. The kind of honesty the world tries to crush before it grows. And in her eyes I saw something I had almost forgotten. Hope. A light that had not been dimmed by the smoke of politics or the noise of lies. At that moment, I realized why we fight. Why do we stand? Why do we bleed for our people? Because what is leadership, if not for children like her? What is freedom, if not the chance for her to live in a world without fear, without chains, without silence choking her dreams? That single question, who is Jesus to you, did not sound like the voice of a child anymore. It sounded like the roar of 1,000 storms. It demanded an answer not from my mind, not from a podium, but from the deepest part of my being. And I confess to you, in that moment, for the first time in a long time, I felt small. Not because I was weak, but because I was standing before the innocence of truth itself. My brothers and sisters, let me tell you why that question shook me. Because when you have walked through fire, when you have seen what my eyes have seen, that question becomes more than a child's curiosity. It becomes a storm inside your chest. I have stood in villages, turned to ash. I have seen children weep where they should have laughed. I have watched mothers dig graves for sons who never reached manhood. I have smelled the smoke of homes destroyed not by nature, but by the greed of men. I have walked through streets where laughter had been buried beneath the sound of gunfire. I have seen rivers of blood, not from warriors defending their land, but from innocent souls crushed by power and betrayal, my brothers and sisters. Betrayal is an old companion in leadership. I have seen men I called friends trade loyalty for gold. I have seen brothers sell their honor for a seat at the table of power. The closer you walk to the sun of authority, the longer the shadow of betrayal grows. In those moments, when the screams around you drown out the songs of hope, when the graves are dug faster than the seeds are planted, you ask yourself, what is the meaning? What is hope? What can stand against this darkness? And then one name rises in the silence. Jesus. A name with no sword, yet it breaks chains. A name that whispers peace while the world roars with hate. A name that does not build thrones, but lifts hearts. Who is Jesus to a man who has seen rivers of tears? He is the hand that wipes them away. Who is Jesus to a soldier who watches betrayal pierce deeper than bullets? He is proof that love is stronger than treachery. Who is Jesus to those who bury their dead? He is the promise that death does not have the final word. And in that battlefield of my memories, her innocent question echoed louder than gunfire. Who is Jesus to you, my brothers and sisters? After betrayal, after war, after graves, I tell you this. There is only one force that does not collapse beneath the weight of this cruel world. One name that stood tall when nations crumbled. One truth that cannot be bought, cannot be silenced, cannot be erased. That truth is Jesus. Who is Jesus to me? He is not just a story told on holy days. He is not a painting hanging in churches. He is not an ornament, not a ritual. He is life itself. When armies rose with swords, he carried no weapon, yet he shook empires. When rulers built palaces, he walked dusty roads with fishermen. When betrayal kissed his cheek, he bowed down and washed the very feet that would abandon him. Who can love like this? Who forgives like this? Who brings peace not by conquering men, but by conquering hate itself? This, my brothers and sisters, is Jesus. To a man who has seen death, he is not just hope, he is victory over death. To a man who has seen betrayal, he is not just comfort. He is the proof that faithfulness survives. To a continent bleeding and wounded, he is not just a healer. He is the voice that says you were made for freedom, dignity, and light. And listen to me. His message was never just for the powerful. His throne was not built in gold. He was born in a stable, among the poor, among the forgotten. That means our worth has nothing to do with money, with crowns, with titles. That means the last can become first. The rejected can become chosen. The oppressed can rise. And yet, my brothers and sisters, the world rejects this truth. Look around. You. Nations fight not for justice, but for greed. Corporations poison rivers and destroy forests, all for profit. Leaders erect walls higher than mountains, while children sleep hungry in the streets. The world kneels before money as if it were God. But Jesus said, "What does it profit a man to gain the whole world, yet lose his soul?" Do you feel the thunder in those words? The wisdom in that warning? Because we have gained technology, but lost humanity. We have gained knowledge, but lost wisdom. We have built weapons, but destroyed peace. We sit on mountains of resources while our children dig through trash for crumbs. And in this desert, this dry wasteland of greed and lies, one voice still calls, "Blessed are the poor in spirit. Blessed are the merciful. Blessed are the peacemakers." That voice cuts through the noise like lightning tearing the sky. That voice shakes palaces and comforts children at the same time. So who is Jesus to me? He is the compass when power tempts me. He is the voice that whispers in the wilderness of politics. What does it profit a man if he loses his soul? He is the mirror that reminds me greatness is not in ruling over people, but serving them. And I tell you, for me, that is the only greatness worth fighting for. My brothers and sisters allow me to widen the lens, because that question, who is Jesus to you, was not only for me as a man. It was for me as an African. Africa, my mother, my wounded warrior, our land, rich in soil, rich in spirit, rich in beauty, and yet treated as poor by those who bleed it dry. A land of kings and queens turned into beggars by empires that sailed across seas with chains and lies. Our gold taken, our children enslaved, our culture stolen. They broke our monuments, but they could never break our soul. And who is Jesus? To Africa? He is hope when the world dares to call us hopeless. He is dignified when they strip us of pride. He is free when they call us slaves. Do you see its meaning now? My brothers and sisters, Jesus was not born in the comfort of a palace. He was born in a stable among animals, laid in a manger for a crib. His first witnesses were not kings, but shepherds. His first visitors were not princes, but common men under the stars. If he chose humility, then humility is not shame. It is dignity. If he walked with the poor and the outcasts, then the last shall be first. And we, the people whom this world rejects, we too are chosen to rise. Can you feel the beauty in that truth? That our value does not depend on the gold stitched in our clothes, but the love stitched into our hearts. That our strength as Africans is not in the palaces stolen from us, but in the spirit that was never theirs to steal. And I tell you, Jesus is not a distant figure carved in stone. He is the living reminder that the crowns shining today will rust tomorrow, but a soul faithful to love will shine forever. Look at our continent. They called us slaves, yet our songs carried hope. They called us broken, yet our hands keep building. They called us ignorant, yet our proverbs carry wisdom deeper than their libraries. Every seed they tried to crush became a forest of resistance. So when you ask me, who is Jesus to Africa? I say, he is a promise that our story is not one of endless chains, but of rising freedom. A promise that our scarred hands will plant again, our children will again laugh where there was once only weeping, and our people will walk proud with their heads lifted to the sky. And let me tell you this, my brothers and sisters, Jesus dignified. Fishermen, tax collectors, women ignored by society, lepers cast outside the city gates. If he dignified them, then he dignifies us. The forgotten are never forgotten by him. That is Africa's truth. And that is the echo of that girl's question resounding in my heart. My brothers and sisters, let us lift our eyes even wider. Beyond me, beyond Africa. Let us see the world we live in today. Look around you. Nations rise not for justice, but for profit. Wars are not launched to protect the weak. No, they are launched to fill the vaults of the powerful. Corporations circle our people like vultures, feeding on hunger, selling life as if it were a commodity in their markets. They dig into forests until the roots are gone. They poison rivers until the fish float lifeless to the surface. They steal land, and they buy men's souls with the shine of silver. And when children starve, they do not hear crying. They hear opportunities. This, my brothers and sisters, is the world we live in, a world that worships money as though money were God itself. But listen, In the echo of millions of coins, in the shouts of men chasing wealth, there comes another voice. A quiet voice. So quiet that many cannot hear it, because they are deafened by greed. And yet, that voice endures. What does it profit a man to gain the whole world and lose his soul? That voice dismantles nations without lifting a sword. That voice disarms greed with a single question. That voice is Jesus. We boast that our world has become modern, advanced, and strong. We celebrate the machines, the towers, the weapons, the luxury. Yet let me tell you the truth. We have gained technology, but lost humanity. We have gained weapons, but killed peace. We have gained wealth, but starved justice. We build monuments higher and higher, but our souls sink lower and lower. And in this desert of greed and vanity, there stands an oasis, clear, pure, eternal, and that oasis is the life and teaching of Jesus. He whispers into the shadows. Life is more than what you own. Blessed are the poor in spirit. Blessed are the merciful. Blessed are the peacemakers. My brothers and sisters, do you not feel the contrast? The world screams, take more. But his words say, give. The world says, crush the weak. But his words say, lift them. The world says, hate your enemy. But his words say, forgive them. This is why his voice is not drowned. This is why no empire could bury his truth. Because truth, real truth, echoes louder than lies. Mercy cuts deeper than vengeance. And love outlives every weapon. Who is Jesus to our greedy world? He is not only a hope, he is the antidote. He is not only a dream, he is the reality we all refuse to live, yet the only reality that can save us. And then, my brothers and sisters, after speaking of wars, of greed, of nations and thrones, I returned in my heart to that little girl, to her eyes, to her trembling notebook, to her single question, who is Jesus to you? At first I thought it was only for me, but I know now it was never just for me. It was for every soul sitting in that room. It is for every man and every woman hearing my words tonight. So let me ask you, who is Jesus to you? Is he only a name stored in a book you never read? Is he only a holiday printed on a calendar? Is he a painting on a wall, beautiful but silent? Or is he the compass inside your chest, guiding you when the world tempts you with gold? Is he just a memory, or is he the living truth in your choices? Is he only in the prayers you whisper? Or is he in the way you treat the weak, the poor, the forgotten? Because if he is only a story, then it ends with us. But if he is a guide, a light, a living presence in our actions, then his story remains. My brothers and sisters, the little girl's question is now our question, a mirror held to every heart here tonight, and the mirror does not accept lies. It does not bend for crowns or for medals or for politics. The mirror asks with absolute clarity, who is Jesus to you, my brothers and sisters? Listen carefully now. Crowns will rust, empires will crumble, thrones will stand empty, covered in dust, names whispered today with pride. Tomorrow will vanish like smoke in the wind. The golden chairs kings kill to sit on will one day be ruins for tourists. The mighty voices of presidents will be nothing but echoes swallowed by time. Even the monuments carved in stone will crack, break, and fall. But there is one name time cannot erase. There is one truth history cannot bury. There is one light no darkness has ever managed to extinguish. The name of Jesus. He is not remembered because he built palaces. He is remembered because he touched the untouchable. He is not remembered because he was conquered with swords. He is remembered because he conquered hearts with love. That is why 2,000 years later, the empires that mocked his name are gone, and yet his words still shake the earth. That is why tyrants fall, armies scatter, and crowns shatter into dust. But love, real love, never dies. Do you feel it? Do you hear it? The rhythm of eternity beating louder than armies, louder than politics, louder than death itself. Crowns break, empires break, names break, but love does not break. And Jesus is love. And so, my brothers and sisters, after everything we have spoken, after crowns and empires, betrayal and hope, war and forgiveness, we return to where it began, to a child, to her trembling hands clutching a notebook, to eyes brighter than diamonds, yet pure as morning dew, and to her question, the question that echoes through this hall, through this continent, through this world. Who is Jesus to you? I bent down that day, and I took her hand in mine. And I knew. I could not give her politics. I could not give her empty titles, could not give her rehearsed speeches, so I gave her my heart. I said to her, "My child, Jesus is the breath of mercy in a suffocating world. He is the light that shines when even the sun refuses to rise. He is love in a world drowning in hate. He is the king who never enslaves, the teacher who never misleads, the friend who never betrays." Her eyes widened, as if the stars themselves had stepped into them. And at that moment, I understood. The little girl's question was bigger than her, bigger than me. It was for all of us. So I say again tonight, do not speak of Jesus if you cannot live like him. Do not shout his name while hating your neighbor. Do not kneel before him while crushing the poor. Do not build churches and forget to build compassion. If you love him, live him. Because his message was clear. His message was simple. Love God, love people. My brothers and sisters, the day will come when every throne will be empty. The crowns will be dust. The palaces will be ruined. The voices of tyrants and politicians will be gone. But one voice will remain. The voice that whispers, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." That will never die. So when that little girl asked me, "Who is Jesus to you?" I answered not as a president, not as a soldier, not as a man of power, but as a child of truth. He is my compass in the wilderness. He is merciful when betrayal surrounds me. He is hope when war suffocates me. He is love when hate rises against me, and I pray, one day, my brothers and sisters, that he will be that for you too. Silence. Long pause. The echo of the question lingers. Who is Jesus to you?